Hey everyone, I am Hridhay Tejura, a student in grade 11 at the Cathedral and John Connon School, Mumbai. As a proud and grateful part of the Lumiere Research Scholar Program's Cohort of Fall 2021, I will be presenting my research work in the field of aerospace engineering. My mentor throughout the course was Justin Lydard, a PhD student at Princeton University. Due to my interest in the transition to automated technologies in the aerospace industry, my research delves deeper into this subfield, and this paper answers the question, is model predictive control, MPC, or a linear quadratic regulator, LQR, the better optimal control framework for navigating a quadrotor in wind? Moving on to some background information on the topic. Next slide, please. So there are various state feedback optimal control frameworks that can be implemented to predict the movement of and safely fly quadrotors autonomously. And both LQR and MPC define a time horizon for which they calculate an optimal path based on the initial conditions. How this works is that MPC and LQR are algorithms, programs, or codes, however you want to think of it, that run on board the quadrotor. These programs are fed an input from the sensors, inputs like altitude, speed, and pitch of the quadrotor, and they work to either predict future movements of the quadrotor or to control its movement and bring it to a stable state. How do they do this? They do this by solving cost functions, equations using linear algebra, ordinary differential equations, and the eigensystems. Now, that is a lot of math, but my desire to learn and answer my research question, as well as my passion for aerospace and aviation, motivated me to learn such advanced concepts at this stage in my education. But don't worry, I don't plan on giving any of you arithmophobia. Now to the methods I used and analysis I carried out for my research paper. I used simulation methodology, a quantitative technique which helped discern which optimal control method is better suited for a quadrotor in conditions of wind. As stated earlier, this paper explores two optimal control methods, a linear quadratic regulator and model predictive control. The two were compared on the basis of which method took a shorter time to bring its system, the quadrotor, to a set stable state, an altitude of 0 in our case. If any one of the control methods displayed a significantly shorter time to stabilize its system, it would be discerned as the better optimal control method. Apart from carrying out simulations, this research paper also reviews relevant academic literature. And finally, moving on to the findings of my research and answering the question I had set out on. The results of the simulations I ran using code developed with the help of my mentor Justin on MATLAB show no significant difference between the time taken by LQR, the graph on the top, and MPC, the graph on the bottom, to bring a system with identical initial conditions to a stable state, 0 on the y-axis. Both methods managed to converge the quadrotor states to 0. However, as a virtue of the differing time horizons, MPC can be considered to be more robust in dealing with varying conditions in time than LQR. And let me give you an example to explain this. Supposing we wanted to pre-program a 10-second long flight for a quadrotor. LQR would calculate the optimal flight path at the beginning of the flight for the entire 10 seconds, whereas MPC would do that 1 second at a time, 10 times over during the flight. And what that means is that MPC is continuously taking input from sensors and adjusting the optimal flight path based on varying conditions such as wind or any other noise or disturbances. However, this doesn't mean that LQR is at a disadvantage, because the advantage of LQR is that it's better used for modeling, while MPC can be better used for noise management. That brings an end to my presentation. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.